Hello, welcome back to Ketter Gaming. We're going to be starting off a new series today, Farming Simulator 2017. It's a game that I played a lot of on my own, a little bit of multiplayer, and I thought I'd make a good video series because it's actually one of the games that I have watched just a ton of Let's Play videos and different things, mod reviews, map reviews, and it was always just a really exciting game for me. I used to farm when I was younger, a long time ago, and I've just really enjoyed playing this game, so I thought we'd give it a run. As you can see here on the background, we're going to be giving Mills County a try here. I've never played this map before. I found it recently searching around, looking for a map that was more US based. There's a lot of really good European maps out there, but I've had a hard time finding good US based maps. And I came across this. I haven't played it yet. I just kind of logged in and poked around a little bit, looking for a map that was small enough that I could start with some smaller machinery and work my way up to larger and larger machinery. So let's go ahead and jump into the game here. And as you can see, in the upper right hand corner, we do have the Seasons mod installed. And so this is going to be something that is also new to me. I've never played with Seasons before. And so we're going to be giving that a try. There's a lot of cool stuff with the Seasons mod. A lot of work has gone into it. Really kind of forces you to play a little bit more realistically. And so, as I've never used it, I've read a little bit of the manual. But the cool thing about Seasons is it kind of forces you to plant your crops during certain parts of the season. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. And then you can only harvest them in certain parts of the season, depending on which crop you're growing. Which I think is really cool. There's a ground temperature, so you can only plant when the ground is above a certain temperature. And then also the grain prices are controlled by the seasonality depending on what you're trying to sell. So like corn tends to go up in the summer, in the early part of the season, goes down for a while, comes back up in the winter. And so, this is semi-realistic from what I remember on the farm. Right before primary harvest season, it starts dropping down and stays low for a while, comes back up. So it's really cool to see different seasonal prices for different things. We will probably stick to the more core crops that I'm used to growing in the northern Midwest area. Things like soybeans, corn, probably some wheat or barley, just to, in case we need, for example, some straw and different things like that. So with that, if we go ahead and jump into here, you can see this is a pretty busy map. There's lots of fields ranging from different sizes. We currently start out at the shop here, but our farm, if I'm not mistaken, is located right down here between field 9 and 14. So if I, oops, there's a lot of stuff there. If I go here, I can just jump into the farm real quick. It is still dark in the morning, so I'm going to go ahead and run the clock for just a little bit to get some daylight here to make it easier to kind of take a quick tour of the farm. Slow that back down here. So a few things that I like about the farm, and actually, let's just see if I can put myself into a better position to start with. There we go. One of the things that I like about the farm is that it's semi-realistic, and by that I mean we don't have necessarily a giant grain elevator. So I'm just running out here. We got a truck up here, the main road. Some small bin sites. I think there's some options to have some animal farms. I don't think there are any animals on the base farm here. Hogs are across the road. We've got some cows here. Sheep are over here. But we do have a few sheds. But one of the things that I really liked is that we've got these Brock bins here, and so we have a base bin and silo setup, but it's more small form style. It's not a giant elevator or anything like that yet, and obviously we can use some mods and install something bigger later. But I don't know. It felt like more what I'm used to. So being able to just drive the truck up here to the pit, drop it in. You've got some normal augers. So we do have a number of fields here already. We'll use this map. Actually, I can't get a mouse in this mode, can I? Okay, so hang on one second. So bringing up the map here, we do have a number of fields already. 9, 14, 13, 18, and 7, and 16 over here. And so really all of the farms, oh, and a grass field, number 20. So we have a few different, relatively small fields here. Like, just as a comparison, right? So, field 19 down here is about the same as several of our other fields. So if we jump over here, you can see that this is 8.83 hectares. And so, for those of us in the US, the conversion is roughly 2.5, a little bit less than that. So if we just look at what 8.8 hectares would be, roughly a 22 acre field. So not that big. So I thought this would be a good map for starting out with some smaller tractors and working our way up. So I've jumped back over here to the main farm, and what I'm actually going to do in this video to start out with is I want to sell all of the starting equipment that we have, because I am very much a John Deere fan, and so I want to get some John Deere equipment on this farm. And so I do want to play semi-realistically, in that I don't want to just, put a bunch of money in the game and buy whatever I want. I do want to have to earn that money to work through the tiers of Farming Simulator. And so to simulate that, I am going to sell all of this equipment. I may run some of the bigger stuff up to the store and sell the rest of it just via the quick garage. There's the header. That's what I was looking for. So we have most of our equipment here, but I think we have to have some other equipment somewhere. And so where's this tractor? Enter. Okay, so we have some other equipment over here by the hog farm. Oh, some mowing equipment and stuff. Okay, that's cool. So if we go into the store, we can go to the garage and see what our starting equipment is. So they start us out with 3 tractors, which isn't bad. I think it's actually probably a little excessive for what we want to start with. I think we'll probably end up starting out with 2. We got some general loader. We have a New Holland harvester, a little grain wagon, a cultivator, a seeder, a sprayer, a mower, and a windrower. We got a pickup as well. And then looks like a silage blade. So I think we're going to sell pretty much all of this. Maybe we'll keep the sprayer for now. Let me just look and see what our other sprayer options are. Like I said, I've got just a ton of mods on here. So yeah, so we might keep that sprayer. But everything else I think we're going to end up getting rid of. So because we do want some money, I am, oops, no. We are going to drive the machinery at least up to the shop, each of the pieces of machinery, before we sell them. Because if you drive it up to the shop, you get about 20% more, if I remember correctly. And so we're just going to do that with some of this stuff. Now, I do not play Farming Simulator in cab mode very often. And so I mentioned that I want to do a few things more realistically. but I'm not the kind of person who's going to try to play super realistic. I want to have fun. It's a game. It's not perfect. So there will be times, like right now when I'm driving and hooking things up, that playing inside cab mode makes sense or is just fun to have a change of pace. But doing it all the time is just doesn't feel interesting to me. And so I'll jump around. I'll try some different things out. But that said, I am definitely open to trying new things, trying different styles. And so if there's something that you want me to try or something that I'm doing during the video that's just like, oh, don't do that, that's annoying, right? Leave some comments. I'm definitely going to read all the comments and try to respond as needed. There's a header trailer here somewhere I'm trying to find. And so I'm open to changing. I'm not trying to say I'm only going to play a certain way and you have to live with it. I definitely want you as the viewer to also enjoy these videos. And one of the things that I have found both playing Farming Simulator but also watching other people's videos is seeing how other people have done things and maybe not having realized that you could even do certain things within the game. And this is kind of silly. I'm going to hook up a header trailer, but I'm just going to... Well, alright, we'll stop and put the header on it. This header is so small, you don't really need a header trailer. Like, in real life, I'd probably have just driven down the road with this. The ditches and the shoulder and most of the parts of the Midwest that I grew up farming in, you could do that no problem. But we have a header trailer. We're going to make a trip down to the store to sell it anyway, so we might as well just put the header on the trailer and be done with it. Wow, we're doing wheelies in the tractor. Okay, that is not set on there properly. Oh, hopefully it won't fall off, because that would be painful. And we're just going to back it in here. Alright, now the question is, where's the shop? Go out and hang a right and hang a right. Alright, we'll do that. I do like to play with the mini-map on sometimes because it helps me figure out where I need to go. So I do not like the fact that my head is just floating up here in the middle of nowhere, though. And so I'm still getting used to recording with my video here. So if you give me just a second to try and drop my head in here somewhere that it doesn't look like I'm floating awkwardly in space, we will do that. We'll try that out. Try and find a good place where it's not blocking aspects of the game. Usually I like to put it down at the bottom of the screen, but I find in Farming Simulator, unless I turn the mini-map off and put it down in that lower left-hand corner... Oh, we are driving in the middle of the road. That's bad. Alright. I find that unless I put it down in that lower left-hand corner, it gets in the way, because there's a lot of machinery and stuff that tends to fall into this bottom center area of the screen. And I really don't want to block the view. So... And this thing is slow. Very slow. And I do not remember the hotkey for my beacon lights. The home key is the beacon lights. Woo! There we go. Yep, most of the time, transporting big machinery like this, at least in the U.S. and the parts of the U.S. that I was in, you always had your four-ways on when you were driving down the middle of the road. That guy is right on my bumper. Not sure what crop type that is on the right there. So anyway, so yeah, we're not going to be driving machinery all day, and I will likely do some jump cuts here, some time lapses in this series. just because I don't think you guys really want to watch me driving machinery at a glacier pace across the map all the time. So why don't we go ahead and jump cut to the store here. Alright, and here we are pulling up to the store. Only took a few minutes to drive up here. And so we're going to go ahead and sell this harvester off with the header. And then we're going to go grab the other two tractors and run them over here with some random implements. And then we'll get to purchasing some new stuff. And so I'm hoping to get enough from the starting equipment to buy everything that we need without having to take out any loans in this first season. I'm gonna, like I said, start with some pretty small equipment. We're just gonna park everything in here and see how it goes. Some pretty small equipment to start with, and it might take us a little while to do some of the farming. I don't know, from a season's perspective, I think I can do the plowing in the spring. Now, like right now, I've got this water symbol up there, which I think means the ground is wet. But I don't know if that means it's too wet to plant or too wet to do any kind of field work. That's something we're gonna have to figure out here. So I have a front hydraulic on this tractor, and so I'd really like to get rid of this front blade. And I'm playing with the keyboard right now, so I apologize in advance. I did a little testing, and it didn't sound like my keyboard clicks were getting picked up too much by the microphone. Maybe here and there a little bit. Oops, we are a terrible driver. I have a steering wheel. I have the Zytec steering wheel, and I really like using it, but I did not set up my playing space in a way that really made that feasible, at least not right now. I'm really thinking about how I want to relay out my desk setup so that I can have my recording gear set up, the green screen behind me, the microphone and everything. Whoa, we're going off-road. And get everything set up so that I have enough room to hook the steering wheel up when I want, and use that for games like Farming Simulator, but really easily push it off to the side when I'm playing some of the other games that we've got on the channel here. So I am playing, as you probably saw, Battletech. Got quite a few episodes of that up. Been doing that for a couple of weeks now. And I'm looking to also start getting some Oxygen Not Included videos out on the channel here soon. In fact, I'm not sure if this is going to get put up before or after Oxygen Not Included. They should go up at roughly the same time. I'm still trying to work out a schedule. I am posting every day. I plan to keep that schedule going. But I do also want to start doing live streaming, and I think Battletech is going to be a good game to live stream, mostly because I've been very addicted to that game lately, and I want to get through more of it. And I find Farming Simulator can be a good game to live stream in certain situations, especially in like multiplayer setups where you've got a lot going on. But a lot of times, Farming Simulator, when you're taking care of animals, you're doing a job, you're doing some things, there can be a lot of action going on, but then there can also just be times where there's just a lot of downtime, there's a lot of slowness going on, and you just want to jump cut or do a time lapse and kind of speed up. You can only watch somebody mow grass for, so many minutes before it's just doing more of the same. And so that's where live stream for those kinds of jobs and situations, I don't know, I just don't think it'd be as interesting. And so that's something I'm going to work on, but I'm definitely interested in hearing your opinions on that. So if you want to see me vary my live stream schedule, try different games out, I'm all for that. I think I forget, somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 plus games in my Steam library these days. I played most of them, not all of them. And I used to have a lot more free time than I do now. I have a soon-to-be 13-year-old and a 17-month-old little kids running around, driving me crazy, having a blast. And so I'm actually pretty busy most nights. I don't get to sit down in front of the computer nearly as much as I used to. And so obviously, with less time in front of the computer, I should start a hobby where I try to record my computer time and post that online, right? Totally makes sense. Oh, we got a little bit of graphical clipping errors going on there. Weird. Oh, there's a front loader here that I can grab and get rid of, because I've got a nice John Deere one that I would like. Oops. Ooh, with the forks. I should probably keep the forks, but they're not the right color, so we'll sell them and replace them when I need them. Because I don't think I'm going to need them anytime super soon. There we go. So, yeah. What was I saying? Oh, so yeah. So, kids keep me super busy. So, my plan is to start streaming Tuesdays and Thursday nights between 10 p.m. and midnight Eastern Standard Time. That's kind of my play window. And then record some videos on a couple of the other nights during the week, and then spend some time with my lovely wife on a few days a week. So hopefully I can get enough of a time in during the week to have some recorded series like what we're doing right now, but also do some live streaming as well, because I think a lot of people would like to see some live streaming. I've already gotten some feedback from a few people that are watching my other series that they'd like to have a chance to be interactive and see the live stream and comment as we go. So I'm totally open to trying that. Really, this is all new to me. This streaming / video recording thing. Really just wanted to give it a try, learn something new, learning a lot about video editing software, learning a lot about things like green screens. I mean, this is cool. I've never had an opportunity to do anything like that before. And so just really for me, this is kind of a fun hobby, playing around, trying new things out, working with software, working with audio hardware. And one of the things that I haven't figured out yet is how do I actually do a time lapse and overlay some good audio onto that, find some royalty-free music to play so it's not just silence, mix different audio tracks and video clips together, things like that. So I'll be trying a lot of new things out on the channel here. Really for me, this is just a big experiment to try something new out, to learn some new things, and have some fun and share it with others. So by all means, please leave a comment and let me know what you like to see. And we are almost done selling the equipment here. And so one of the things that just generally feedback-wise that I've gotten is people like to see episodes stay around 30 minutes. That seems to be the most consumable duration for a video for most people. And so I'm going to try to keep things around that and see how it goes. My experience thus far has been that... Sorry, I have a hard time doing two things at once sometimes. My experience so far has been that it's hard to get to an exact time with these videos. And so sometimes it'll be a little bit less, sometimes it'll be a little bit more. I've not done a great job of keeping track of time when I'm doing this. I start talking to myself, I get into the game, and I just forget about the timing. And so I'm trying to do a better job of that, and that's why I keep glancing over to kind of look at a clock. Also, I have a tendency to forget where I've placed my video window, and I'm trying to figure out if I'm in a good spot right now or not. Does it look awkward? Should I move it to somewhere else? I don't like this floating head thing. I really want to get it down to the bottom of the screen somewhere again, I think. But I don't want to cover up the vehicle panel when I'm in a vehicle. So like, oh, we have one more tractor. So like here, when I'm in the vehicle, I like people to be able to see the, what do you call it? Speed gauge, fuel gauge, the attachments that I have hooked up. That way you can laugh and scoff as I struggle to hook up a piece of equipment and don't notice the symbols already there and things like that. So, yeah. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and do one more jump cut here with this tractor. Oh, wow, this tractor is really going fast, though. One more jump cut here, though, as we get to the store, because I do want to get some stuff purchased in this video still, and then I'll probably bring it all back to the farm off camera. So we'll go ahead and jump cut here and see you at the store. Right, we are back, and you'll notice that I am not driving the Fendt anymore. I decided to actually sell the truck and this tipper trailer as well. We're gonna get some old school grain, like side gravity wagon type grain trailers. So I didn't sell the Fendt yet. I did want to make sure that you guys got a chance to see how much we're selling everything for. But we are going to get rid of it all. And so we've just got these two things here, and this truck is not well suited for hauling this trailer. And we'll go ahead and sell this. And that. Alright, now if we look at our garage here real quick, the only thing I did not manage to get rid of was the windrower and the sprayer, and I wanted to keep the sprayer, so that's fine. And the windrower we'll just leave there for now. So, we have $723,000 to get our farm started. That's actually way more than I was expecting to have at this point. So you'll see here, I've got a lot of modded tractors installed. This is the John Deere Old Iron Pack, or at least a version of it. And there's a lot of different versions of the same tractor. And then I have some newer tractors in here. And so I've tried a few different mods. This one specifically I know is really good. I think this is the one with the new real tracks on it. I have to double check that, but I know, I think it's Custom Modding just released a new version that had real 3D tracks on the 9RT, which I really wanted to check out. I've never actually used a tracked tractor in the field, but the 8R is a really nice tractor series, and so my goal is to get up into something like this in the medium term, and then graduate into the 9R series for what I'll call end game for this map series. I haven't decided what the goals are going to be just yet for the map. So if you look at the map, there's a lot of these small to medium-sized fields. We're going to be sticking kind of in this area right now to start with. And so as a result, I think we may end up working the hog farm just because we already have that farm and it's right in the middle of our fields. We might try to do some cattle later. I don't think we're going to do sheep in this session. We'll see if I change my mind later. But and so we'll probably start out here, farm the fields that we have for the next season, maybe graduate into buying the rest of the surrounding fields if we have the money. In fact, I'm going to jump over here real quick. I'm just curious what prices are. So we could actually, depending on how much money we spend, buy some fields as well. But for now, let's focus on getting our starting equipment. So I'm going to just jump back over the shop. And we're going to start by picking a couple tractors. And we're going to have to jump around a little bit here. I should have done a little bit better research, but we're just kind of playing along as we go so you guys can feel my pain. I want to get some equipment. And so when I was farming back in the day, we had like an 800-acre farm that I worked on. And we had 3 tractors. We had a 4850 was our bigger tractor. And I'm not sure these horsepowers are correct. I'll have to look at that on somewhere. Do I have another 50 series tractor line? 40. Oh, this doesn't go up that high. And so we had a 4850 was our larger tractor, and we used that for the planter, for plowing the end rows. We did row crop. We did not, what's the term for it? It wasn't exactly no-till, but it was very close. So we didn't plow all our fields, actually, and so I didn't have a lot of experience plowing. We also had a 4640 with the front wheel assist. Not quite accurate in the picture, but we had a 4640 that we used for some different tasks, but usually running the auger wagon in the fall. And then we had a 4240 that we used to do the spraying. We used it to run the grain cart sometimes. We used it to chop corn stalks at the end of the year. So it was a good multi-purpose small tractor. Now, unfortunately, Farming Simulator is not very forgiving on the low end of the horsepower. And so I do want a tractor that can have a front loader. And so I'm thinking about picking one of these up with the twin wheels and using this as kind of the utility tractor. 140 horsepower doesn't get me very far in Farming Simulator, though. So, like, as an example, if I jump over here and look at that seeder that we just sold, that's 180 horsepower at the bottom. And so that's why we have, and you can go all the way up here, right? You can get seeders that require 640, which is just craziness. None of those tractors would be able to pull that. But thankfully, I've got a whole bunch of cool John Deere mods here. And that includes some things like the DB60s, like a small modern planter, way out of our horsepower range. But I have the 1760, which is a nice 120 horsepower requirement. I think this is like a standard 12-row planter. So we're going to go ahead and buy this. This is going to be our starting planter. And then we can always upgrade to this, which is another older school, but a little bit bigger, almost twice as big planter. And then we can get into the DB series or the air seeders. We do have a drill here, like an old school drill, but this can plant most of the things that we need, and it's a little bit bigger. Because we used the style planter to plant both corn and soybeans when I was doing things. Do we need a plow for the first season? Soil. So field 20 is not plowed, but field 20 was a grass field, wasn't it? Yeah. So all of our fields start plowed, which is great. So we don't need to actually get a plow for the very first season here, which is good. So we're going to focus on getting a cultivator. And so we have a 30-foot disc here, which is probably a little big. I'm just going back here, like 4 meters, 9 meters. Yeah, that's a little big, a little bit bigger than what I would probably pull behind something. But it is just a disc. It's got, what, 190 horsepower requirement. So we're going to go ahead and buy one of these. And the LBJ modding has done a great job on their John Deere implements. I really like them. As we get into some of the bigger machinery in the plows, he's done a really good job on the rippers, and they pull really nice. They got decent horsepower requirements. We have some different options for plows here for the smaller stuff. We can use this furrow plow. There's a disc here that somebody has set up as a plow. And then I've got a couple of different rippers. The horsepower requirements on this is really high. realistically, like if you go onto the John Deere site, this is still a plow that they sell today, a ripper, and this is way higher than the actual horsepower requirements or recommendations. Same for these. And so we might have to tweak some mods at some point here, which is also something I haven't done much of, but we don't need to worry about that for this season. And so we've got a cultivator. We've got, I bought the cultivator, right? Yeah. So we've got a cultivator. We've got a sowing machine. I need a tractor. And so I just bought this. It's 190. So I need at least one tractor that's going to get to close to 190. And so let's see what we can do here. Let's go into this front wheel assist tractors. I could get a 4955. Oh, 4850. Like that's for 10, 13 horsepower. I'm gonna pay $10,000 more. Oof. I think we'll get a 4850. It'll be my throwback to the old days. We did not have fenders. We did actually have a GPS though. So let's get the normal exhaust with GPS. It's a little bit spendier that way, but we can always upgrade it to a 4950 later because of farming simulator magic. And so we'll go ahead and get one of those. This will make a good plowing tractor and maybe the planter tractor as well. And then, like I was saying earlier, we need a good super tune. Oh, we can actually upgrade and get something a little bit bigger, maybe two at a different point. We need a good spraying tractor. And honestly, I find that the 40 series tractor was a pretty decent spraying tractor. And so we will go with the 4240 tune. We'll put a loader on it. And then when I was spraying, we always took the duals off. But I think for this, I like the look of the duals. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. We're going to use the normal exhaust. I don't know what the difference is, to be honest, on this. And we're going to go ahead and buy one of those. Because we can technically plant with this, since the planter only had 120 horsepower requirement. So if we get into a situation where I need to have both tractors running, we can do that. Now, well, that's kind of awkward. All those duals are spaced out pretty far. I don't remember there being that much spacing between them. That's weird. Alright, so we're going to use this to start with. Nice, yep, they even got them decals alright. So we're going to use the 4850 with the cultivator to start with. And we're going to move him up here. Turn that off for now. And then we're going to go ahead and use the 4240's got the loader. Let's go ahead and buy the front loader. So I've got a fancy smancy John Deere front loader here. Not sure. I think it's just a reskin of the Stoll base game one. Not sure. And what do I need a front loader for? That's my question. I don't know. So we're going to go ahead and just start with the bucket. And let's see if I can get... Which one of these is John Deere green, do you think? This one? Or this one? Oh man, I don't know. We'll start with that one. And if it looks terrible, we will pay the extra money to change it up. It looks pretty close. Yeah, I think that's at least the same version as the front loader, so we'll go with that. And we're gonna bump this planter to pick this up, aren't we? Oh, there we go. Alright, we can't turn. Oh, there we go. Alright, so we've got a front loader now. Ooh, that's kind of shaky. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle that. We may have to... I can't. No, I can't do it. Sorry. I'm not even going to get out of the store like this. Alright, John Deere front loader is getting replaced with the stole, and we'll just make it green and call it good enough. Sorry, mod, but you are a little wigged out. Put it down, back it out, and sell. And if we come back in here, I think we want the 60, and we pick this color, buy, yes, okay. And let's go pick up a front loader. Woo! Mod's pretty basic, but quite honestly, there's a dash up there. Whoa! Pay attention to where you're going. From what I remember, driving the 4240 back in the day, it was a pretty basic tractor. There was not a lot of bells and whistles. Ours had a AM/FM radio, and that was about it. And there does not appear to be much collision with that planter. Alright, so we got a nice green stole loader, which is fine. And then we're gonna just back on up here. And we are gonna see if I can remember how to use follow me. And so if I turn this on, and then oh, hey, there's the weather. Okay, so it's raining today, but it should be better tomorrow. We're gonna turn that off for a second. Let's see here. Nope. Nope. I don't remember. I might not even have it installed. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and just park this here. Like I said, I'll just take these back to the farm off camera. I do want to... yeah, let's turn them off. Take a quick look here. What else do I need? So I got 2 tractors. I've got a cultivator and a planter. So I'm good for the spring months. I got a sprayer back at the farm. Other things that I'm going to need, I want a tipper. So, oh yeah, I've got a cool semi stuff. But we're going to start with a gravity wagon. And we're gonna make it John Deere green as well, and we're gonna put the wide tires on it. We're gonna buy one of these. This is gonna be our starting wagon. And then harvester. I need a harvester. I've got a couple mods that I found installed, but I'm not, these are much newer. And so we can wait until fall to get a harvester. I'm going to look and see if I can find like an older harvester mod to put on there. So let's just go through the categories. I don't need a truck yet. I'm going to just use the tractor and the gravity wagon. Don't need any of this yet. We just bought that. I'm not going to start with an auger wagon just yet because I don't have a harvester and that's many seasons away. Don't need a plow yet. Got a cultivator, got a sowing machine, got a sprayer. I do have a... oh, I have the same mod twice. This one is better done. I should look into getting rid of that one. I do have a dry fertilizer spreader. That's a really big one though. I don't know that we're going to get there anytime soon. Don't need any of this yet. Weeder. Good old cultivators here. We might actually do this in this one. We'll give that a try. I don't need a mower yet, but I do have some different John Deere mowing mods. So we don't need any of this stuff for grass. I got a really cool John Deere loading wagon though. It's a little bit OP, but I love it. I got some good John Deere balers in here too to try out. So when we get to that point, we'll be able to do some baling. Might get a wheel loader eventually when we have animals. But until then, we're just going to use the 4240 with the bucket if we do anything. Because I do want to get the hogs started at some point here. So yeah, I think we've got everything we need. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. I'm going to run the machinery back to the farm, and next episode we'll get started on some field work and go from there. Hopefully this rain will dry out and I can do the field work, because I don't think it's going to let me cultivate with the seasons mod in the rain. So we'll go ahead and get set up for that and catch you guys next time here on Kettert Gaming. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please feel free to subscribe or give me a thumbs up, and leave your comments below if you've got any thoughts or feedback on what you'd like to see us do next.